man who is taking on the Wall Street establishment. You're listening to the Watchdog on Wall Street with Chris Markowski.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the Watchdog on Wall Street show, and yes, we're talking about that ever-exciting topic, insurance, and in this case, we're going to get into long-term care. Okay, it's a reality. 65 years old, median prescription drug expenses, $296,000 in savings to have a 50% chance of having enough on hand to cover their health care expenses in retirement. You want a 90% chance? $400,000. You want to factor in long-term care? That's a hell of a lot more. So right now, they're saying that, I know everybody's saying, it's not going to be me. Not going to be me. Studies are showing that 7 out of 10 people are going to need some form of long-term care at some point in time after the age of 65. One of the things we've noticed and what we do, that's why I'm talking about this. People are not paying attention. They're ignoring this. They're not taking it into account. Many of the new accounts that pour in, week out here on the program, the portfolios that come in, this is completely ignored. And trust me, I get it. Nobody wants to think about this. You want to see your assets evaporate quickly? Want to see your assets evaporate quickly? Have somebody have to go into a facility. The national median cost per month in 2018 for an assisted living facility, $4,000 a month. The cost of nursing home care for a semi-private room, $7,400. Private room, $8,300. You want to take inflation into account over the next 5 years? It's going to cost over $485,000 for you or a family member to stay in a semi-private nursing home room for a 5-year period starting in 2019. For you and a spouse, the cost can be over $1 million. Listen, I get it. Some of the problems that we've seen with annuities and how they're being sold is the same thing that we're also seeing with long-term care. Yeah. You're being sold overpriced policies with multiple add-ons that more often than not are not necessary. Again, you don't want to hire Ned Ryerson. Everybody knows Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day? Phil Connors? The insurance salesperson, their modus operandi is what? The modus operandi of an insurance salesman is to sell you as much insurance as they possibly can. That's how they make their money. You get it? Rule number 17 on Markowski Investments Rules for Financial Independence. You own the right amount of insurance and not a bit more. Another thing that I've been hearing. Medicaid's going to take care of it. Medicaid is going to pay for nursing home care for low-income individuals that have spent all of their assets. And I don't know if you've looked, but many of these Medicaid facilities, the ones that take Medicaid, let's just say they have that certain Soviet Union-esque quality associated with them. That's right. If you have or have saved up a considerable retirement assets and you want to pass those on to your family, you're not going to want to spend down all of those assets, everything that you've worked for, in order to get poor, so then you can let the government decide how, when, and if, what facility you're going to get in that's named after Joseph Stalin, for crying out loud. It's not a very smart idea. Another thing, too, and it's just something most people don't know. They don't understand. It is a misconception that if you if you are buying yourself long-term care insurance, you are, in essence, sentencing yourself to a nursing home. No. That's only one aspect of what long-term care can provide for you. The ideal in many cases, it could be the best means to avoid staying in a nursing home, and you can have care in your house. Actually, we believe that people should start looking at long-term care as a means of avoiding a nursing or assisted living facility, if that happens to be a priority for you. These are some things you need to think about. Again, you got certain long-term care policies right now that can provide effectively 10 times the amount of care that you pay in premium, at the same time returning all of your premium back to your family if you don't end up needing it. You get it? So there's some kind of interesting little caveats in regards to some of these policies out there. Listen, if you're a baby boomer, you're planning to retire soon, and if you're still working, you have an aging parent, you have to ask yourself, is there a plan in place to pay for all of this? All too often overlooked in this stuff is the burden placed on younger generations when parents don't have sufficient resources to pay for expenses. And this oftentimes leads to middle-aged children paying out thousands of dollars a month for care. Now, again, I talked about understanding who you are earlier on in the program and some of the things that scare you the most. I'm one that I don't want to be a burden on anyone. Ever. So obviously this is a concern to me. And you need to kind of ask yourself if it's a concern for you. Get the help you need. We can help you with this. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com. WatchdogOnWallStreet.com. We'll be back.
You're listening to the Watchdog on Wall Street.